our last video, we looked at 3 fires in the same block. And in this video, I'd like to look at a couple additional fires, not in the same block. And a couple of these I've covered in previous videos, but I didn't have the information on the fire, or in some cases, the photographs that I have today. So I thought I would like to share that with you, and I thought you might enjoy seeing it. The first one we want to look at is a fire that occurred between these 2 buildings here. This is in the 1000 block on Military on the east side. On the right, you have the old Harrington Hotel. And on the left, you have the old Desmond Theater and later the Huron Theater. But in between, there used to be another building there that was destroyed by fire. Looking down on this space, it doesn't look very large. But when the building was there, it looked quite large. The building had an auto showroom in it, as well as a service center and a gas station. You can see that building here in the background of the parade. And to the right on that building, on the south side, where all the glass is, that was the showroom. And then, of course, you have the gas pumps out front. The service center went further down to the north. I covered this building in video number 56. And also there's a short video clip that my dad took with an 8mm camera back in 1942 of it, and that showroom has a nice bright red convertible in it, so you might want to take a look at that. I didn't have this photograph before when I did the previous video. It's a great photograph, of course, except for the watermarks, but it gives you a good look at what it looked like, the service center as well as the showroom. You can see the car inside the showroom. And as you go scanning over to the left, you can see the service center as well. And of course, that's the Desmond Theater in the background. There were several owners during the year, and they sold different brands of cars over the years. But in this photograph here, Al Parfait owned it. You can see the Parfait name over the garage door. But at the time of the fire, Jack Payton owned it. And on November 20th, 1961, this was on the front page. Fire destroys Peyton building. Loss estimated at $250,000. Car agency, gas station, and bus depot in ruins. Well, the bus depot was the Greyhound bus depot. And they kept the Greyhound buses in the back of the station. You can see a photograph here. All right, let's get back to the front page. They have a photograph on the front page of the inside of the building to show you what the damage looked like. And if you look closely as we zoom in here, you can see actually several cars and a pickup truck, it looks like, underneath all that debris. On the inside page of the paper, there was additional photographs. Let's take a look at those. The fire also caused smoke damage to the new Huron Theater, the Harrington Hotel, and the Christian Science Reading Room. 36 guests in the hotel were alerted and came down to the main lobby as a safety precaution. The fire chief said that the fire is believed to have started in the northwest corner of the Payton garage, but the exact cause has not been determined. D.T. King, service manager for the Payton Company, said that 15 new cars, 3 used cars, customer's car, pickup truck, and Greyhound bus were either destroyed or damaged in the fire. 23 other new cars that were parked behind the building were moved to safety, but not before some of them were damaged by smoke. Leon Zibble, 62, desk clerk at the Harrington, turned in the alarm when a man came running in from the street and said that the building next door was burning. On this last photo, it would be pretty hard to understand unless you read the caption. And the caption says this: streams of water from firemen's hoses crisscross in the light of the flames as this picture was made from a fire escape at the Harrington Hotel. 2 firemen manning hose in upper part of the picture are at the front of the Payton building. Skylight in the building is at the right. I told you in our earlier video that Jack Payton went on to become the owner of the Harrington Hotel, but he was also a co-owner of the city bus line. In this photograph from December of 1950, you can see a string of buses escorted by a police car. And the caption reads this: "New buses ready. 14 of the 16 new buses scheduled to go into service here Tuesday are shown off during a police-escorted run through the city." The 14 buses were driven through Port Huron and then back to the Jack L. Peyton garage, 1010 Military Street, Saturday, after they were driven here from the factory in Pontiac. The new buses, identical with 2 buses put in service by the present bus company in July, will go into service Tuesday morning, provided the City Commission approves the move at its Monday night meeting. Mr. Payton and Arthur H. Hughes are co-partners in the new company. I also have some information on the tragic death of Mr. Payton that occurred in the Harrington Hotel. November 6, 1973. The article says Jack L. Payton, 57, owner and operator of the Harrington Hotel and prominent Port Huron businessman, plunged to his death down an elevator shaft about 1:30 p.m. Monday at the hotel. Then it goes on to give some details. Patrolman Claus said that Peyton was attempting to dislodge the elevator that had become stuck on the second floor. He opened the elevator door on the first floor and was reaching for a release latch when he apparently got too close to the edge of the shaft and fell headfirst some 22 feet to the bottom. Today that property is vacant now, but over 100 years ago it was also vacant until, 1900. And they built a building there in 1900. Any of you historians remember what building that was? It was a mineral bath that was one of the amenities of the Harrington Hotel. The Harrington needed those mineral baths in order to be competitive with hotels like the Oakland Hotel that was in St. Clair, which had mineral baths. And this is a photo of the Oakland. And the mineral baths, you can see the signage above it. In the early 1900s, cities that had mineral baths were as popular with the elite as Las Vegas or the Riviera are today. Downtown Port Huron streets were thick with people milling from fancy hotel to fancy theater to the Grand Opera House. The Harrington Hotel was a mecca for both the hopelessly ill and the incredibly rich. Members of high society mingled with those on crutches and in wheelchairs, and over it all hung a rank odor, suspiciously like that of rotten eggs. The reason? Mineral springs had been discovered at Port Huron. But Harrington wasn't the first to discover mineral springs in Port Huron. In the late 1800s, Port Huron Mineral Bath House was on 6th Street, had mineral baths. They had sunk a well down 900 feet, according to the ad. But once the mineral bath house next to the Harrington was up and running, it put the Port Huron Mineral Bath House out of business. The downside of mineral baths was the smell. Those of us of a certain age can remember going to Detroit and having to go through Mount Clemens, which we didn't particularly care for because going through Mount Clemens, they had a lot of mineral bath house, and you could sure smell them. Anyway, back to Port Huron. The decision was made in 1900 to put a bathhouse on the property adjacent to the Harrington Hotel, and it was going to be called the Deep Spring Mineral Bath House. It says this: Deep Spring Mineral Bath Company, a corporation thus named, may be organized to develop mineral bath business. All preliminary details for the project have already been arranged. If citizens subscribe the necessary capital, stock enterprise will go forward at once. June of 1900. Both of the Deep Spring Company wells completed. Water sent for analysis. Contracts for marble and the tile let. Bathhouse will open August 1st. September 1900. Baths next Tuesday. Men's Department of Deep Springs Mineral Bathhouse will open then. 8 tubs have arrived and have been placed in position in the Deep Spring Mineral Bathhouse. It will probably be a week later before baths can be given in the Women's Department. The price will be, without attendance, 50 cents for mineral baths, 25 cents for plain baths, services of attendant when desired, 25 cents extra. And here you see the first ad for the Deep Spring Bathhouse. For the cure of rheumatism, gout, eczema, and all blood and skin diseases, and as a tonic for the system, the mineral waters of Port Huron are unsurpassed in the world. Not the city, not the state, not the country, but in the world. The Deep Spring Bathhouse adjoins the Harrington Hotel, with which it is connected by private passageway. It is finished in marble, tile, and oak, and has solid porcelain tubs. There is no finer or better appointed bathhouse in the country. Department for both ladies and gentlemen always open with competent attendants. Price of mineral baths, 50 cents. This little article showed up about the passageway going from the Harrington Hotel to the mineral baths. The passageway leading from the Hotel Harrington to the mineral bathhouse will soon be brilliantly lighted at night, with electricity, and rugs will extend the entire distance. They did a very good business, at least up until 1905, when this appeared in the paper. He took bath in greasy oil. Great reservoir was tapped at mineral bathhouse, and water failed to flow. The mineral bathhouse had been closed down for about a month, and when they started up today, the pumps, instead of turning out mineral water, turned out a clear stream of oil. Approximately 30 barrels of oil a day have been discovered. No more baths for me, says oil victim. Petroleum flow at mineral bathhouse caused no little excitement. It took them 2 hours and a half to polish me off after my petroleum bath, and I still smell like an oil lamp. No, sir, no more petroleum baths for me. I don't think it was a coincidence, but shortly after that they changed hands. It was no longer Deep Spring, but Rock Spring Mineral Bathhouse. Shortly after that, she saw testimonials appear in the newspaper from the citizens of Port Huron about how that mineral bath really helped them. And there's some pretty amazing stories in here. You can stop the video at any time and read it at your leisure. So remember, the next time you're tootling down Military Street and you look over and you see this empty space, just remember there used to be some thriving businesses here. Well, we never got to the second fire, but we'll have that along with another one in the next video, so join me then.